Peace, what it is. I'm finna share this with you about this book. I gave you this book in my video about the 12 books that prove African Americans are indigenous to America or what have you. But I just want to read this chapter to you real quick. It ain't nothing but like 3 pages, 4 pages. The chapters are very short in this book. This book is a very, very, very easy read. Let me roll it. Hold on. Let me roll the windows up. Alright, I had to roll my windows up, so all that loud noise won't come in. All right, let me share this with you so you can understand the crux, if you will, of this book. I ain't gonna give you the whole book, even though I might do more videos about this because I got something else I want to show y'all. But because I want y'all to read this. This is a brother, Horace Butler. This is a brother. He come from a Christian perspective, but regardless, you know what I'm saying? It's a brother. He giving some groundbreaking information. All right, like real talk. So y'all, we really need to support this brother. Everybody need to go buy this book. Alright, then came Bintrists. Right? Let's start. When searching through ancient Egyptian records, I noticed a story of a woman whose name seemed to be Bintrist. The stone with her history may now be in Paris at that word, National Museum. But the story is also cut into an ancient temple called Abu Simbel in northeast Africa. Okay, that's where Egypt is, right? According to the Bintrist inscriptions, a foreign chief in a place called the Two Lands offered his daughter to Ramses, everybody know Ramses, for marriage. Ramses married the girl and took her back to Egypt. Sometime after the marriage, the foreign chief came from his kingdom, called both Keta and Bekin to meet with Ramses. The Keta chief asked Ramses to send a physician to heal one of the chief's other daughters, Bintrist, who seemed to be possessed with a demon spirit. An Egyptian physician was sent from Egypt to Bekin. Unable to heal the girl, the physician returned to Egypt, then went again to Bekin with a religious idol. After the girl was healed, the physician and the idol returned to Egypt. Now here we go. Listen. Now you remember now what they done told you, where they tell you Egypt is right now, right? This whole book is telling you that the biblical Egypt and the biblical Hebrews, all of that happened not only over there, but most of it over here in America. Hence the two lands. So watch. Listen. The fact that it took consistently 17 months of travel to reach Bekin was one of the most astonishing revelations in the Bintrist inscriptions. Egyptologists who saw the Bintrist account attempted to explain away the incredible 17th month voyage. Listen. By arguing that the Egyptian priest who had ordered the inscription to be carved had erred in the facts. Okay? Listen to this. Let me repeat that. They attempted to explain it away, the incredible 17-month voyage, by arguing that the Egyptian priest who ordered the inscription to be carved had erred in the facts. So these people smart enough to cut through stone and write words and symbols, blah blah blah, but they don't know how long something takes. So they made a mistake when they wrote it down. You see how the Egyptologists do? If anybody telling you anything about Egyptology that's based in Egyptology, they a goddamn lie. Let's get it. It was the height of arrogance, see, that historians continue to apply that explanation to the Egyptian hieroglyphic account that did not agree with historians' ideas about the past. They're lying to you. Egyptologist Henry Breasted added several footnotes to the Bintrist account about the 17-month long voyage. 2 of his footnotes confirmed the consistent 17 months of travel needed to travel from Egypt to the city of the Two Lands, called both Bekin and Becatin, as God later consumed 1 year. As God later consumed 1 year, 5 months in going to Becatin. The round trip between Egypt and Becatin should take some 34 months. This exactly suits the passage according to which the returning wise man has been absent nearly 3 years, which allows for a short stay in Beckham. And the round trip consumed 34 months, 1 year, 5 months each way. And he had remained in Beckham 45 months, a total absence of 79 months, 6 years, 7 months, as he left Egypt in the 9th month of the year, 26 of that day, later of the absence, 6 years, 7 months, to put his return in the year 33, as the priest author of inscription has done. So these people know what the fuck our people, our ancestors, knew what the fuck they was doing. These people who are interpreting it to you are lying to you, and then they just say that the people who wrote this shit down, the ancestors made the mistake, and that's why it don't make sense. Do you get that? So basically they saying we smarter than these people, and these people, when they wrote it down, they didn't know what the fuck they was talking about, even though we don't know how to do this shit that they did. Okay, do you get it? There was no mistake. It required 17 months to reach Bekin from Egypt, and also 17 months to return. Breasted, Bragash, and other Egyptologists announced that they never located Bekin. In other Egyptian records, the people of Bekin were called the Bekin or the Bekin. All right, let's keep going. I ain't through with your ass shit. You ain't got nothing to do. Show ass down. Go buy the book, read for yourself, nigga. The ancient writings placed in Bekin in the two lands, which the inscription also called the Northland and Southland. What we call it? North America, South America. Because the scholars had interpreted the two lands to mean Egypt along the Nile, they were lost to explain why it required consistently 17 months to travel between Beckham and Egypt. Hold on. Now, if Beckham is supposed to be, because scholars had interpreted the two lands to mean Egypt. The two lands are supposed to be Egypt, according to Egyptologists. Why the fuck it take him 17 months to travel from Egypt to Egypt? Fuck out of here. On this riddle called Bekin, Brokash wrote, "It is difficult to say where the land of Bekin should be sought. A journey of 17 months from Luxor, Egypt to a foreign city shows that it was very distant. The stay of Mesu, the 12th, in the riverland of Naharain suggests a Syrian town. The problem with this suggestion that Bekin was in Syria was that Syria was not thought by the Egyptologists to be the two lands, and of course it does not take 17 months of sailing to reach the place now called Syria from the place now called Egypt on the Nile." You see how you're saying now called? You get it? Several weeks after learning of Bictris, I saw scenes about Bictris history carved in. Listen, okay, I need to let me slow down. Several weeks after learning of Bictris, okay, that's the story, I saw scenes about Bictris history carved on an ancient ball court in Mexico at the Olmec city of Tajin. Hold on, let me get right. I'm trying to get my shit together. In one scene, the Egyptian priest used a taper stone to undo the demonic possession of a woman. The Egyptian narrative about Bictris explains that a magic talisman stone was used to help remove the demonic spirit from the prince. Unfamiliar with the meaning of the Tajin scene, modern historians said that the woman is being sacrificed. See how they say? The historians say that the priest standing above the woman holding a taper talisman stone, and they incorrectly deduce that the stone is about to be plunged into the woman's chest. Because they stupid and they don't understand us. You know what I'm saying? The ancient sciences of the ancient people and how they did things. But Tajin was not Bekin, or was it? Several months later, I saw a map that showed the ancient Maya city called Bekin on the Yucatan Peninsula. Now, it could be understood why it took 17 months to reach Bekin from the city where Ramses was in Northeast Africa. Had the mysterious Bekin of Egyptian history been found that easily? Probably so. According to the buildings found in Bekin in Egyptian descriptions of the buildings at Bekin, the Bekin of Yucatan matched the distinguishing marks given by the Egyptian hieroglyphics about the Bekin that Ramses knew. After locating Bekin in the Yucatan, another Egyptian record appeared to firm up the belief that American Bekin was the Bekin of Ramses. In a well-published ancient Egyptian papyrus called the Report of Winaman, the names of several important Mayan cities near Bekin are given, including Dor, a city in Thikel. Modern scholars have published that the ancient Yucatan city called, what that say, family? Islam, Mirador, Mora was indeed a city ruled by the nearby greater Mayan city Tikal, with ancient Egyptian records about a 17-month-long village to reach Pekin, with the ancient American city called Pekin, with the carvings of the ancient city in Mexico portraying the events about the famed cure of a Pekin princess. The Bentress Stella became too overwhelming for scholars to ignore. The senior historian for National Geographic magazine wrote that the Bentress Stella and beacon were the most critical findings of the discoveries I had sent to him. Pekin was fascinating, but my attention was moving towards another Egyptian city called Memphis. Something kept telling me that the Egyptian capital city, Memphis, had been built on an island in Mexico, but each time I attempted to investigate that belief, some stone would pull me in another direction. When a serious historian in National Geographic magazine agreed to write a review for part of my findings, the search for Memphis could no longer wait. And he goes on. I was gonna read this one too, but this is my break. Shit, y'all taking off my break. You gotta get a break, don't it? So, peace and love. I hope you got that. I'm gonna keep going. I got another book at the house. I'm working on something. It might take me a little while. I don't know. I might not even do it. I know I am. Shit. Anyway, go get this book. It's a good book, man. Y'all need to get it. It's written by a brother who trying to give us the truth about our true history and who we really are. So, peace and love. Take it easy.